Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Nipunika Shahid with the evening news. The headlines. Department of Telecommunications allocates spectrum to telecom operators asked to prepare for 5G launch likely by next month. India envisages a free, open, inclusive and peaceful Indo-Pacific built on a rules-based order, says External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar in Bangkok. Goa becomes the first Har Ghar Jal certified state and Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu the first union territory in the country. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says AAP government compromising national security for vote bank politics by providing shelter to Rohingyas. Maharashtra government issues high alert after suspicious boat landed with weapons found off a beach at Hareshwar in Raigad district. In Duran Cup football, Neroka FC defeats Trau FC 3-1 at Kuman Lampak Stadium, Imphal. In another match, Mumbai City defeats Indian Navy 4-1 at Yuva Bharati Kirangan, Kolkata. And in cricket, the first ODI of the three-match series, India defeats Zimbabwe by 10 wickets in Harare. The Department of Telecommunications (DoT) has allocated spectrum to telecom operators, paving the way for launch of 5G services. Communications and Information Technology Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said the letters for spectrum assignment have been issued. Mr. Vaishnav has also requested telecom service providers to prepare for the 5G launch. Bharti Enterprises Chairman Sunil Mittal praised the speed at which DoT processed all the matters related to the spectrum auction. Yesterday, Airtel paid over 8,312 crore rupees towards spectrum dues and was provided the allocation letter for the designated frequency bands within hours. Mr. Mittal said E-band allocation was given along with spectrum as promised. With the assignment of frequencies, telecom operators can now start the work for rolling out 5G networks. Telecom companies have already placed orders by buying telecom equipment and now will start distributing radios to the identified sites for 5G. Our correspondent reports the government as well as telecom operators are rushing to launch 5G services at the earliest, probably by next month. Talking to AI News, Praveen Prashant, editor, DG Analysis, said introduction of 5G services will help from agriculture to startup.
Initially, it will be limited to few pockets, and within 2 to 3 years, it will spread its wings to a larger geography. 5G will be very beneficial for consumers as it will help in increased bandwidth, so one can download HD movie within seconds. One can do multiplayer gaming. From a health perspective, remote surgery can be done using 5G technology, and we will also see a lot of precision agriculture because after the data can be captured, the remote sensors closed agriculture field can be monitored and activated accordingly. On the collaboration side, which is on the design side, we can see real-time collaborations happening where people or designers sitting across the world can interact with each other. Not only this, it will open up new services as government has recently allowed startups and MSMEs to that they can use the test bed for their applications with respect to 5G, and we will see more innovations and more new services coming up.
The centre netted over 150,000 crore rupees from the sale of 51,236 megahertz in the 7-day auction. In all, it had put 72,098 megahertz of airwaves on sale. Market leader Jio was the largest bidder in the 5G airwave auctions that ended on the 1st of August. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said India envisages a free, open, inclusive and peaceful Indo-Pacific built on a rules-based order. Mr. Jaishankar, who is on a visit to Thailand, delivered a public talk on India's vision of the Indo-Pacific at the prestigious Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok. Speaking at the event, the minister said only those whose mindsets are built around spheres of influence and are uncomfortable with the democratization of world affairs will dispute the Indo-Pacific. Recognizing that a very substantial part of India's interests now lies towards the east, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar said it is clear that New Delhi now looks beyond the Indian Ocean and into the Pacific. The minister further hailed the ASEAN grouping, noting that India envisages the bloc to be at the center of the Indo-Pacific, both literally and substantively. The visiting minister also lauded the group of 4 countries, the United States, Australia, India and Japan Maritime Quad Bloc, as the most prominent plurilateral platform that addresses contemporary challenges and opportunities in the Indo-Pacific. A report.
Lauding the Quad Bloc, the visiting minister expressed confidence that the entire Indo-Pacific region will benefit from its activities, and that is validated by growing recognition of its importance in the international community. Jaishankar said that India-Myanmar-Thailand trilateral highway has the potential of creating a completely new axis of economic activity in Asia. He added that though the project has had its fair share of challenges, the countries are determined to bring it to an early conclusion. The prospects for the global order depend on a more equitable and democratic distribution of power and resources. The world must be more multipolar. Such a multipolar world must necessarily have a multipolar Asia at its center. Without mincing words, the minister said China is embroiled in heated territorial disputes in both the South China Sea and the East China Sea. China claims sovereignty over the entire South China Sea. Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, Brunei and Taiwan have counterclaims. China is aggressively controlling regions that are rich in minerals, oil and other natural resources and are also important for global trade. Beijing is militarizing several islands and reefs in the region by laying out infrastructure. Anuja Kumar for AIR News.
Jaishankar, who is in Thailand, attended the 9th India-Thailand Joint Commission meeting and offered prayers at the Devasthana at Bangkok on Thursday morning. Underlining the shared religious and cultural traditions between both countries, the EAM said that it received the blessings of Phra Maharaja Guru Vidhi.
Goa has become the first Har Ghar Jal certified state and Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, the first union territory in the country. In this state and UT, people from all the villages have declared their village as Har Ghar Jal through a resolution passed by the Gram Sabha. All 2,63,000 rural households of Goa and over 85,000 of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu have access to safe drinking water through tap connection. The 4th India-Philippines Strategic Dialogue was held in Manila today, in which the two sides discussed defence and security cooperation. They also exchanged views on regional and global issues of mutual interest as well as ASEAN-related matters. It was co-chaired by Secretary East Saurabh Kumar and Under-Secretary, the Department of Foreign Affairs, Philippines, Teresa Lazaro. The External Affairs Ministry in a statement said yesterday both sides co-chaired the 13th Foreign Office consultations. They reviewed the multifaceted relations between India and Philippines. The two sides also expressed their desire to advance bilateral relations and expand engagement in areas including agriculture, trade, pharmaceuticals, fintech, education, defence and security, and people-to-people ties. It was also agreed to work to expand engagement in other fields such as space development cooperation and civil aviation. They also decided to convene bilateral mechanisms in different sectors at an early date and work towards holding the next ministerial level joint commission for bilateral cooperation at mutually convenient dates.
Dr. Jitendra Singh, MOS IC, Science and Technology, MOS Ministry of Personnel, PG and Pensions, has said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given highest priority to Northeast India ever since he became the Prime Minister in 2014. Dr. Singh said that earlier the region was in news for the wrong reasons, but in these 8 years it has seen a huge positive transformation.
When we came here in 2014, Northeast was in news only for violence, encounters, for all the wrong reasons. And the state of affairs was such that for months together the roads would remain blocked, air connectivity was lacking. Even a state like Arunachal Pradesh, people had never seen a train. But if you look back 8 years, it's difficult to imagine that that was the state of affairs. A huge transformation has happened. And in fact, the Northeast development model, or the transformation model, is now being cited in other parts of the country.
Dr. Singh said this after inaugurating the 2-day regional conference on bringing citizens and government closer through administrative reforms for the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions in Itanagar, Arunachal Pradesh today. The 2-day regional conference will conclude tomorrow and will have 5 technical sessions with the reforms in governance, public grievances, redressal and e-office in Northeast states, Good Governance Practices in Northeastern States, District Good Governance Index, and Good Governance Practices. Coal and Mines Minister Prahlad Joshi has said that Indian economy is marching ahead despite odds and difficulties caused by COVID-19 pandemic. Addressing the function to confer Coal Ministers Awards for 2021-22 in New Delhi today, Mr. Joshi pointed out that coal sector has played a crucial role in ensuring energy security of India. He urged Coal India Limited and its subsidiaries to focus on infrastructure development, transportation and new technologies to increase coal production.
The Ministry of Civil Aviation has said that Kolhapur Airport would get a new terminal building with enhanced capacity and world-class facilities by March next year. It said considering the tremendous passenger traffic growth at the Kolhapur Airport, the Airports Authority of India has undertaken the work for developing the airport for enhanced capacity. The ministry said more than 60% of the work for extension of the terminal building is complete. The ministry highlighted that a new terminal building is being constructed in an area of 4,000 square meter and it will be able to process 300 passengers during peak hours. It said with 10 check-in counters, the terminal will be equipped with all modern passenger amenities. Our correspondent reports that Kolhapur Airport has been identified for Regional Connectivity Scheme operations under UDAN scheme and is presently connected to Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai and Tirupati. Recently, the airport aerodrome license has been upgraded to round off clock flight operations. Employees State Insurance ESI will work to expand its services in all 744 districts of the country by December this year. Announcing this at ESIC Chintan Shivir at Surajkund in Haryana, Labour and Employment Minister Bhupendra Yadav said this expansion will take into consideration the increased beneficiary base post-implementation of Social Security Code. He also said the convergence with Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana will be done in all the districts of the country for better accessibility of services to beneficiaries, leading to pan-India portability. Mr. Yadav said centres of excellence for occupational health will be set up to promote indigenous research on occupational disease in India. He informed that Employees State Insurance would explore developing health facilities and medical colleges in aspirational districts of the country.
National Fisheries Development Board today conducted its 9th governing body meeting in New Delhi. The governing body meeting was chaired by Minister of Fisheries Parshottam Rupala. Minister of State for Fisheries Dr. L. Murugan and Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Balian also attended the meeting. On the occasion, Parshottam Rupala released a book on super success stories from Indian fisheries. He also launched an online marketplace feature, Aqua Bazaar app. The app will help the fish farmers and stakeholders to source the inputs such as fish, seed, feed and medicines and services required for fish culture. It will connect various stakeholders involved in aquaculture sector. Speaking on the occasion, Dr. L. Murugan said, fisheries departments need to focus on infrastructure development projects such as fishing harbours, fish landing centres, ice plants and cold storages. He said for the first time under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the government has taken up promotion of startups by the entrepreneurs to achieve the targeted fish production.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Department of Telecommunications allocates spectrum to telecom operators, asks to prepare for 5G launch likely by next month. India envisages a free, open, inclusive and peaceful Indo-Pacific built on a rules-based order, says External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar in Bangkok. Goa becomes the first Har Ghar Jal certified state and Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu the first union territory in the country. Information and Broadcast Minister Anurag Thakur says AAP government compromising national security for vote bank politics by providing shelter to Rohingyas. Maharashtra government issues high alert after suspicious boat landed with weapons found off a beach at Harihareshwar in Raigad district. In Durand Cup football, Neroka FC defeats Trau FC 3-1 at Kuman Lampak Stadium, Imphal. In another match, Mumbai City defeats Indian Navy 4-1 at Yuva Bharati Krirangan, Kolkata. In cricket, the first ODI of 3-match series, India defeats Zimbabwe by 10 wickets in Harare. For quick news updates round the clock, Follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
मुट्ठी भर अंग्रेज और हमारे विशाल देश पर राज करने का स्वप्न देख रहे हैं, पर हम इनके स्वप्न को चकनाचूर कर देंगे।
निकल पड़े स्वाधीनता के पथ भाले, स्वतंत्रता संग्राम की सुनी अनसुनी कहानियों के साथ स्वराज हर रविवार रात 9 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
Welcome back. You're listening to the evening news. Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways Sarvanand Sonowal has embarked on an official visit to Iran and UAE beginning today. During his visit, Mr. Sonowal will be visiting the Shahid Beheshti port of Chabahar, Iran, and UAE, including Jebel Ali port. Chabahar port is the country's first overseas port project. The development of the Chabahar port project is a prestigious project of national importance. The ministerial visit will strengthen ties and maritime relationship between the two nations. This visit will also highlight the importance of Chabahar as a gateway for Indian trade with Europe, Russia, and the Commonwealth of Independent States, CIS countries. The minister will take part in bilateral meetings with the ministers of road and urban development and health and medical education of the government of Iran.
Over the past 75 years, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for the 1.3 billion citizens across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashvani ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the eyes and voice of All India Radio. In today's episode, we bring you the magical moments of the very first Republic Day celebrations in the country.
On 26th of January 1950, the Constitution of India took effect, making the country a sovereign, socialist, democratic republic that secures all its citizens justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was sworn in as the first President of India in the Darbar Hall of the present-day Rashtrapati Bhavan.
Amid scenes of unforgettable splendor, Delhi celebrated the first anniversary of the Indian Republic. A huge concourse of people witnessed the President's ceremonial drive along Kingsway.
The chief guest at India's Republic Day celebration is traditionally a foreign leader, and the first ever head of state to preside over this event was Indonesian President Sukarno.
The parade by the armed forces, at which Dr. Rajendra Prasad took the salute, was watched by a large and distinguished gathering. Earlier, the President presented 4 Paramveer Chakras for gallantry during the Jammu and Kashmir operation. 2 of them were awarded posthumously. Captain Ram Raghubarane was the proud recipient of the Paramveer Chakra, the highest award for gallantry. While the parade was in progress, more than 100 aircraft of the Indian Air Force zoomed past. Flying in formation, they dipped in salute to the accompaniment of cheers from the assembled crowd.
26th of January was chosen as the date for Republic Day, as it was on this day in 1930, Declaration of Indian Independence was proclaimed.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke saath can be accessed on the Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts, YouTube channel News on AIR Official, News on AIR app, Facebook and Instagram handle. So tune in to All India Radio News for Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke saath. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur today came down heavily on Delhi government over the issue of Rohingyas. Talking to reporters in New Delhi, Mr. Thakur said the city government had written a letter to provide flats to Rohingyas and illegal immigrants in the national capital. He alleged that Rohingyas who live in Delhi are illegal migrants and are being given free water, electricity and ration by the Arvind Kejriwal government. The minister accused the AAP government of compromising national security for vote bank politics. He asserted that national security is of utmost importance for the central government and, as said earlier, the illegal immigrants will not be given shelter.
हम जब सत्ता में नहीं थे तब भी और आज सत्ता में तब भी एक ही नीति राष्ट्र प्रथम, राष्ट्र सुरक्षा प्रथम, राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा को हम सबसे आगे लेकर चलते हैं, इंडिया फर्स्ट की नीति को लेकर चलते हैं। लेकिन कुछ लोग जो दिल्ली में अरविंद केजरीवाल जी जैसी लोग सरकार बनाते हैं, उनके लिए रोहिंग्या घुसपैठी प्राथमिकता हो जाती है। हमारे लिए राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा आज भी प्राथमिकता है, आगे भी प्राथमिकता है।
The minister also said the External Affairs Ministry is in talks to send them back to their countries. Mr. Thakur questioned Delhi Chief Minister why his government could not make detention centres ready for them.
The National Investigation Agency NIA conducted raids at multiple locations across Jammu today. NIA sleuths are conducting raids at Kathua, Samba and Doda district in connection with recovery of arms and ammunition dropped by drones controlled by Pakistan along the international border in Arnia sector. The NIA personnel were seen at the residence of Faisal Munir, the main accused in the drone dropping case, who was arrested last month. It has made several arrests in recent months in the drone case. Jammu and Kashmir police also recovered a consignment of arms and ammunition dropped by a Pakistani drone in Top village located near the international border. The National Commission for Scheduled Caste has taken into cognizance the case of a female teacher been burnt alive in Raisar village of Jaipur in Rajasthan on the 10th of August. The Commission has sent notices to several officials, including the Chief Secretary of the state, and sought a reply within 7 days. The Commission sent notice to the DGP of the state, Jaipur Police Commissioner, and the District Collector seeking complete information about the incident.
Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has said that the suspicious boat found today near Harihareshwar beach in Maharashtra's Raigad district is owned by an Australian woman. Speaking to reporters in Mumbai, Mr. Fadnavis said, who is also the state's Home Minister, said the woman's husband James Herbert was captaining the boat from Muscat to Europe. Mr. Fadnavis confirmed that 3 AK-47 rifles, its ammunition and the boat's documents have been found.
एक बोट स्ट्रैंडेड पाई गई, जिस बोट पर 3 AK राइफल और उसके साथ उसका एम्यूनेशन और बोट के कुछ कागजात पाए गए। तुरंत महाराष्ट्र पुलिस ने और ATS ने सभी जगह नाकाबंदी की और इसकी तफ्तीश शुरू की गई। हम लोगों ने तुरंत भारतीय कोस्ट गार्ड के साथ संपर्क किया और उन्होंने भी इसकी तफ्तीश शुरू की। तफ्तीश में यह ध्यान में आया है कि इस बोट का नाम लेडी हान है। इसकी मालिक एक ऑस्ट्रेलियन महिला है। उस महिला के पति इस बोट के कप्तान है और ये बोट मस्कत से यूरोप की ओर जा रही थी।
As a matter of abundant caution in view of tomorrow's Dahi Handi festival and the upcoming Ganesh Utsav, which is celebrated with much fanfare in Raigad, Mr. Fadnavis said security has been tightened all across and a high alert has also been issued. A team of the Maharashtra ATS will assist the local police in further probe. President Draupadi Murmu and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar have extended greetings and best wishes to all the fellow citizens living in India and abroad on the eve of auspicious occasion of Janmashtami. In a message, Ms. Murmu said that Lord Krishna's life and teachings included the message of well-being and virtue. She said, Lord Krishna propagated the concept of Nishkam Karma and enlightened the people about the attainment of ultimate truth through the path of Dharma. The President expressed that this festival inspires people to follow the path of virtue in thoughts, words and actions. In his message, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar said, Janmashtami, celebrating the birth of Lord Krishna, is of great spiritual significance for the devout. It reaffirms our faith in the victory of Dharma, righteousness, over adharma, evil. Mr. Dhankar said, Sri Krishna is the epitome of divine love, supreme beauty and eternal happiness. His timeless teachings in the Bhagavad Gita have been a great source of inspiration.
Exhibition Sutra Santati celebrating India through the continuum of textile heritage has been organized at the National Museum, New Delhi. Secretary Minister of Culture Govind Mahan today inaugurated the exhibition. The exhibition celebrates 75 years of India's independence by bringing together diverse textile traditions of the country. Karnataka Sports and Youth Empowerment Minister Dr. Narayan Gowda has said that FIBA Under-18 Women Asian Basketball Championships will be held in Bangalore from the 5th to 11th of September. Sri Kantirava Indoor Stadium and Koramangala Indoor Stadiums are getting ready for the international event. Division A, comprising of India, China, Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Chinese Taipei, Australia and New Zealand, and Division B, comprising of Hong Kong, Jordan, Malaysia, Maldives, Mongolia, Philippines and Thailand, will contest in the championships to qualify for the FIBA World Championships to be held in July next year in Spain.
Paralympian Rahul Jakhar has won gold, Avni Lekra silver, while Pooja Agarwal bagged bronze on day 1 of 2022 WSPS Shooting World Cup in Changwon, South Korea. In Durand Cup football, Neroka FC, Northeastern Reorganizing Cultural Association FC, defeated Trau FC, Tidim Road Athletic Union Football Club by 3-1 at Kuman Lampak Stadium, Imphal. In cricket, India defeated Zimbabwe by 10 wickets in the first one-day international of the 3-match series at Harare Sports Club, Harare. Replying to the target of 190, the visitors achieved the benchmark in 30.5 overs without losing any wicket.
The Sensex and the Nifty today closed almost flat as they logged marginal gains. A report from the business desk.
The Sensex rose 38 points to finish at 60,298. The Nifty added 12 points to settle at 17,957. In the forex market, the rupee depreciated 23 paisa against the US dollar. The domestic currency closed at 79 rupees and 68 paisa against the American unit. Gold was trading at 51,690 rupees per 10 gram. Silver was trading at 57,000 rupees per kilogram, and Brent price rose more than 1%. Brent crude was trading at $94.95 per barrel. Anubha Rohatgi for AIR News.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi is expected to have generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius while a maximum of around 36 degrees. Mumbai is likely to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 31 degrees. Kolkata is expected to have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature will be 27 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 31 degrees. Chennai will witness a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 31 degrees. Srinagar is expected to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Department of Telecommunication allocates spectrum to telecom operators asked to prepare for 5G launch likely by next month. India envisages a free, open, inclusive and peaceful Indo-Pacific built on the rules-based order, says External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar in Bangkok. Goa becomes the first Har Ghar Jal certified state and Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu the first union territory in the country. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur says AAP government compromising national security for vote bank politics by providing shelter to Rohingyas. Maharashtra government issues high alert after suspicious boat landed with weapons found off a beach at Harihareshwar in Raigad district. In Durand Cup football, Neroka FC defeats Trau FC 3-1 at Kuman Lampak Stadium, Imphal. In another match, Mumbai City defeats Indian Navy 4-1 at the Yuva Bharati Kirangan, Kolkata. And in cricket, the first ODI of the 3-match series, India defeats Zimbabwe by 10 wickets in Harare. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.